All right, time for the next limited time series number 3, and it is gonna be for Ferrari 488 GT3. The rewards in terms of the gold and racing dollars, same as the other two that we've done. 100 gold and 100,000 racing dollars for completing this series, and of course you get to win the car. And the cost, I believe, is going to be the same as well, 428 gold. And let's see, 15 tiers, of course. Same kind of reward breakdown. And then yeah, let's as always complete it with gold, and then we'll return to verify the PR requirement. By now we're kind of familiar with it, right? 79.5. So sporting the Italian national color here. All right, so we got the Porsche test track. Are we gonna have another 3-lapper long on-road circuit race for this one? Yep, we are. And the PR requirement is, as suspected or as expected at this point, 79.5. So 3 upgrades across the board. You guys know the drill by now, right? So first tier cash, the racing dollar upgrades, 12-hour R&D. We're starting with the stock PR of 65.2, and by the end of first tier upgrades, your PR should be at 69.9, I think. So let's confirm. So there's your engine, drivetrain, and the body, and the suspension, and exhaust. Brakes next, and finally tires and wheels to bring it up to exactly 69.9 as once again expected, right? And then tier 4, where you get the 25% completion, is gonna most likely gonna have what PR requirement of 70.2, I think was the case for the last 2 or limited time series for the IMSA GTD cars here. But in the meantime, let's get the second tier gold upgrades. So we got 75 for engine, and then drivetrain should be 70. And then the body is going to be, yep, 55. So far identical as the other 2 cars. 65 for suspension, and then of course 60 for exhaust, right? Boy, you know it's bad when you start remembering how much each upgrade costed. So 48 for brakes, and then 55. So I didn't really add them up right now, but I think already know it is 428 gold. So, and then the second tier upgrades bring the PR up to 74.7, and then finally the third round of cash upgrades, which takes 1 day, like the other 2 cars or their upgrades have taken. So we'll get those done, and then we should be set for the PR requirement here, assuming there's no surprises. So in a minute we'll review the series to make sure we don't have any surprises, right? But for now, so tires and wheels, the last upgrade, third tier, we get the PR exactly 79.5. There we go. All right, now that we're through with the upgrades, let's check out the series itself. starting out with the autocross at Le Mans, and followed by elimination at Catalunya GP. Elimination really doesn't matter where it takes place. You have to run for, oh boy, 2 minutes and 40 seconds? Or is it 2 minutes and 20 seconds? There are 7 eliminations, right? So 7 times 20, so that is 140 seconds. So that would be 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I guess, right? 240 seconds or 140 seconds. So yes, anyway, and then we got to wrap up tier 1, we got a cup race at Brickyard Motor road course, single lapper, so that shouldn't take too long. Tier 2, speed snap at Dubai Club Circuit, and speed record as Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. And cup race is going to be at Suzuka East. That's a short circuit, maybe 3 laps? 2 laps, alright, so that's another quick one. Oh, what was the PR requirement again for the second? 67.9, so obviously you do need those a few upgrades, right? Just like the other, actually, just like all the other limited time series, you cannot run past the tier 1, or at least you'll get stuck in tier 2 in stock upgrades, or no upgrades, I should say. Alright, and tier 3, we got head-to-head at Hong Kong. Head-to-head generally pretty straightforward, without too much trouble there, even when your car is in red. Drag race, however, can pose a bit of challenge, but we'll see, considering it's fairly early on, tier 3, right? If you have enough upgrades to complete the series, you shouldn't have any trouble here. And then the cup is going to be at Spa single lapper. Keep forgetting to check the PR requirement because it's most likely going to be identical to the other 2 that we've completed by now. 69.1 to get past the tier 3. And the tier 4, this is of course 25% completion mark. So we have to complete all 3 races here. We got a Hunter at Brands Hatch, Endurance at Mazda Raceway, and the cup is at Melbourne. It's got to be multiple lapper. Yep, 3 laps with the 70.2. Yep, telling you. This is when you know you've spent way too much time on this game. Anyway, so 70.2, it's beyond the reach of racing dollar upgrades alone. Anywho, moving on, tier 5, we got autocross at Daytona road course, and speed snap is going to be at the Porsche Test Track Dynamic Circuit, so that's of course right after you come out of the corkscrew. And cup is at Nürburgring Grand Prix. By tier 5, I'm expecting 2 laps. There it is, and the PR requirement of 71.1. Let's move on. Tier 6, we got elimination at the Monza Junior course. So Monza Junior course, you can actually block or play the blockade coming out of that curvy section at the beginning. So, you know, if you have your car serviced by this point, then that is an option. Speed record at Silverstone Grand Prix, so that should be interesting. And then we got a cup at Mount Panorama. We always get at least 1 cup at Mount Panorama, don't we? This one's going to be a double lapper since it's a little bit further into the series with a PR requirement of 72. All right, moving on. Tier 7, we got endurance at Red Bull Ring National Circuit. Hunter is going to be at New York. And the cup is at Hockenheim GP. 2 laps with a PR requirement of 72.9. And that is what you need to achieve 50% completion, since you need 2 out of 3 gold trophies here to claim that 50% completion. Meaning get the first 2, right? Autocross and drag race, since those 2 does not require any PR requirement, but as I've been saying, if you're in it if you've gone this far in the series, you're in it to win it all the way, meaning your PR should be 79.5. I mean, you don't have to have it right away, but might as well have it on at the earlier the better, so that way the rest of your path to the tier 15 would be smoother. All right, at least that's the hope. Anyway, we got autocross at Hong Kong, drag race at well, it's a drag race. Does it really matter where it's taking place, right? And the Cup is at Daytona motorcycle course, most likely going to be a rolling start. We got 2 laps, so that's not terribly long. And the PR requirement of 73.7. All right. And here we go, Tier 9, sort of a Act 2 of the limited time series. Elimination at Porsche Test Track Long on-road circuit, speed record at Catalunya National. And the Cup is going to be at Le Mans single lapper with the PR requirement of 74.5. You know the drill by now, right? Tier 10, we got Speed Snap at Suzuka Grand Prix. Where is the Speed Snap section in Suzuka Grand Prix? Is that the first corner? I feel like that is for the East Circuit, but I might be off on that one. Maybe it is the first corner. Yeah. I might be wrong on that one. Anyway, and then head-to-head is going to be at Hockenheim GP single lap, as you would expect. And the Cup is going to be at Dubai Grand Prix 2 laps, all right, with a PR requirement of 75.3. All right, so at this point, obviously, we're all past gold upgrade, so past the second tier upgrade limit. So you need to have some third tier upgrades by this point, which are, of course, racing dollars. Tier 11, and this is the 75% completion mark. You're going to have to complete tier 11 and get at least 1 gold trophy in the next tier. So, all right, we got Hunter at Silverstone National, Endurance at Mount Panorama, and the Cup is at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit 3 laps. So the Cup races so far, it seems like they're relatively short. PR requirement 76.1. And of course, after we've done limited time series for those NASCAR, all of these seem like they're much quicker, don't they? Which is fine by me, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy the shorter limited time series. Anyway, yeah, and then tier 12, you need at least one gold trophy to claim the 75% completion. Speed record at Brands Hatch and eliminations at Nürburgring, Mühlenbachschleife. And the Cup is at Mazda Raceway, 3 laps with the PR requirement of 76.9. Tier 13, we got Speed Snap at Melbourne, Autocross at Spa, and the Cup is going to be at Monza Road Course, 2 laps, yep, and PR requirement of 77.7. Tier 14, head-to-head, again, this time in New York, single lap, and Endurance at Hockenheim National. And the Cup is going to be at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix, 3 laps, yep, with the PR requirement of 78.6. This is 0.9 shy from the last tier, so there has not been any surprises in terms of some rogue tier with a higher PR than the last tier. You know, we have had that happen before. You know, it's like a big surprise, like, whoa. I don't even remember which event it was, but if you guys have been playing this long enough, I'm sure you remember, because it was like one of those odd one-off thing that did happen. Anyway, last tier 15, we got speed record at Daytona. So that is most likely going to require you to service the car, by the way. I have yet to see speed record at Daytona that you can pull off when your car is in critical condition with limited time series PR. Obviously, if you have more upgrades, your chances are greater, because more upgrades you buy, by the way, the target speed of those things, those events tend to come down as well. Yeah, you're kind of buying your way out. Anyway, so that is the story behind speed record here. And then we got a Hunter at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. That's pretty straightforward. And of course we got the 3-lapper Cup race at Porsche Test Track Long Road Circuit to conclude this series with, once again, PR requirement of 79.5. So there we go. So here's that was the quick series rundown. Let's review. The things that's gonna cause a bit of a trouble is generally speed related events like speed record or speed snap. Not all tracks, like speed snap at Melbourne should be pretty easy, generally speaking. And let's see, speed record at Brands Hatch, you have an option to kind of turn around at the beginning if you're struggling, right? So that's generally doable, as long as you don't end up with some really high speed to beat. And then Hunters are not usually too bad. The typical Hunters that give you trouble are when you have to go against TSM bots, because sometimes at tracks like Indy Speedway, people sometimes would push the Silvia go backwards by pushing it, pushing it backwards, which is really annoying, because that just is silly. So let's not do that, because that just gets irritating. All right, and then speed snap at Suzuka. I don't think any of these are gonna be too bad. Speed record at Catalunya National, another circuit that if you're having difficulty, you can always turn around at the beginning. Yeah, so this series, we don't have speed snap or speed record at Mount Panorama, so this should be fairly smooth sailing, I think. Silverstone Grand Prix speed record, tier 6. It's fairly early on in the series, so I don't expect that to cause too much trouble. As I said earlier, speed snap at Porsche Test Track Dynamic Circuit is rarely a challenge. And then once again, tier 2 speed snap or speed record. I mean, you should be running those in green with possibly a few upgrades already on board. Maybe not. Maybe you can get complete those two before you need to get those upgrades done for, since it's really Cup race is the only one that you need those upgrades for. So yeah, but your car should not be technically in critical condition by the time you get here. So yeah, so there you go. All right, so we'll see you in the actual tier 1 race, but for now that will do for this one. So good luck, and we'll see you on the track. Over and out.